Welcome to Finding Fuel. My name is Brittany, and we're here to talk about grief, loss, and everything in between. I lost my fiance, Zachary, almost a year ago. So it's been like 11 months. It'll be a full year in about 6 days. It's been a long and hard year, like the worst year I've ever had. And so I am building this community. I don't know. I just feel it in my bones. It's on my heart to give other people some support because honestly, a year ago, for the last year, I have felt alone in a lot of ways and also feeling like no one could kind of meet me in my grief. I went to a grief group about 7 months after Zachary passed away, and it was actually amazing. It was the first time that I felt like I was seen, honestly. Just because, I'm 33, Zachary was 33. He died from a heart attack, and I was with him when he died. I feel like no one that I know really has been through that before. Literally, older people, younger people, nobody really knew what that was like. So I didn't really have the support that I needed, and nobody really knew how to show up for me or what to say or what to do. And being like, "How are you today?" Like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Like, it was just so surface level. It was the most annoying thing. I just couldn't stand it. I was like so angry. Like, people just, it's all just so surface level. Nobody really knew what I was going through. So the whole year, I feel like I can split it up into like a few different parts. Like, obviously, I am still grieving. It is still something that I live with every single day. It is hard on some days. Some days are better than others. But for the majority of the days, I can function and I can get through them. But in the beginning, it was a completely different story. Like, I didn't want to get up in the morning. I couldn't wait to go to sleep at night. Like, my favorite part of the day was just like going to sleep and being unconscious. Um, and every day I would wake up thinking, please don't make me like live another day. Like, not in any way that I would potentially do anything to harm myself, but like it was just that dread that like just took over you every single day that was so hard to live with, and everything felt exhausting. Everything felt like a chore. I couldn't really do much like the first couple of months. I literally just kind of like sat around and did nothing, slept a lot. I feel guilty if I like take a nap. And so I just didn't feel guilty anymore. That's kind of liberating. And I still don't feel guilty anymore for like taking the rest that I need, because it's so important during grief to give yourself the space and the time and the energy to breathe, to have space, to rest, because it just does take so much out of you. After the first 2 months of feeling just hopeless, it was like day after day after day. Um, it just wouldn't stop. I was like, how long is this feeling going to last? Because I don't think I can like take it anymore. Um, I- there was nothing inside of me, like I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to see anyone. I did kind of like isolate. I just wanted to be alone. And I also didn't want to be rushed into like moving into other things. Like friends would be like, "Hey, do you want to like go do?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't want to do anything." And just let me be like that, right? And no one really like kind of forced me, which was great. Everyone just kind of like met me where I was, for the most part. And I have other, stories about like relationships and things that I can get into on other videos. Um, but I just needed that space to sit in what I was sitting in and not be forced out of that. I think it's really important to listen to your body during that time. Um, Give yourself like what you need. I know that it's like very hard to eat. Like there were the week of Zach's funeral, I like lost like 7 pounds. Like I wasn't eating. I didn't want to eat. I felt sick to my stomach. Like the grief just takes over you. I think I like passed out on the day of his funeral because I was up like in the morning, right, like writing something like in the middle of the night, and I had barely eaten that day, and I think I was kind of like going in and out of consciousness when I was trying to lay back down, so I had to wake up and like eat something. But it's just really important to like keep your blood sugar under control. So I'm also a dietitian, so I'd also love to like create videos of nutrition and grief together, and help in that way as well. Listen to your body and give it what it needs during that time. Grief isn't just a thing that happens in your mind, right? It's definitely a full body experience. It goes through every part of your body. And for me, which I'm also going to talk about, having a lot of anxiety and panic this year to a whole nother level that like I've never even experienced before. And it was really, really scary. With that, just knowing like, okay, our bodies do hold onto this grief too. And it lives inside of us. It's not just your mind or your consciousness grieving. Your body is also grieving in that way too. Our bodies have those neural pathways, and those neural pathways are connected to our loved ones, to bonds that we create in these relationships. And so when that's completely ripped away or taken from us, it's understandable that our body will like go through like withdrawal symptoms. So Zach died in January, and in the end of January, and then the beginning of April, I had a panic attack, which kind of set the scene for the next couple of months. It was really scary, and I thought I needed to go to the hospital. I thought I was like having a heart attack, kind of like this impending doom situation, impending, I'm not really sure of what. I had this like doom feeling where I was like, oh my God, something's not right. I'm dying. I need to go to the hospital. So I panicked, and it was almost like an incline of panic. And then at the top, it peaked, and I just started like bawling into tears. My body just kind of like let this like big energy go. And then that feeling went away. And I was like, oh God, I need therapy. And I was just kind of like, okay, I need help. I need something to help me because I'm obviously not handling this as well as I thought I was. And so that was really scary. And so literally the next day I called a local like therapist in town, got connected with a grief counselor, and started therapy that week. I also went to my physician, and he prescribed me an antidepressant, anti-anxiety. I was so scared, and I woke up the next day, and this actually like lasted for a couple of months where I felt completely anxious. Like every single day I was kind of like living in this chronic fear. And on a scale from like 1 to 10, it was always hovering at about a 5, and it would only take a small trigger or something just to kind of set me off. I was having panic, being afraid of slipping into a panic attack because it was so scary for me and such like a scary moment. Yeah, I was literally like panicking about having a panic attack. So I was like in this like constant state of fear. Also, which I'm going to kind of create another video about, is going into more detail about the anxiety and panic of what I face. Cause like I got onto this medicine that made me feel like a complete zombie for 5 weeks. And I didn't really know if like that's how things were supposed to be. And then once I switched over to a different medicine, I was like, oh, wow, I feel so much better. I feel like I couldn't even like talk to people. I was feeling more anxious at different times of the days. Like I would wake up just like still anxious and feeling like I got off caffeine for 4 months. I went sober. Like there was a lot of that to it because I had to regulate my body again. My body was just so dysregulated. And so I needed to take care of it. I love hot yoga, but I was also going to yoga and my body wasn't recognizing what was panic or being in this like fight or flight versus just going and working out in a heated room and getting my heart rate up. So my body wasn't like comprehending what was what. And so I was just in it like a constant state of fight or flight for um, like about a good 3 months. So that was really scary. At about like 6 months, though, I started feeling a lot better. Um, Great by any means, but I could just function. Like I could function in my day to day life. I was continuing with therapy. I've also just now this week actually started EMDR. Where you hold like buzzes or like the eye movement and it goes with trauma. So we're working through some of the trauma that I had on the day that Zach died because I was with him. And so I'd love to talk about that in some more of my videos as well. But I needed to find other people like me, and I didn't have that. I really needed to make that connection with other people who knew what I was going through because nobody in my life knew what I was going through. My family didn't know, my friends didn't know. They tried to know, but they didn't, and they couldn't relate to me, and I couldn't relate to them. And so it always felt like this wall up, and it was just hard to relate and for people to kind of see you. So the first day that I walked into grief group, this lady came and like gave me a hug and they were so nice, so kind. And I was sitting in a room with a bunch of people who had also dealt with a significant loss. Some of these people were older and they had lost people who were obviously older, like losing their wife. So that's actually what I learned in grief group is to not rank like, oh, my loss is worse, or your loss is worse, or his loss is worse. Because there were a lot of different losses in the room, like people who had committed suicide, people who had lost their life to alcoholism. I was one of the youngest people in there. And so you could connect with people. So this was actually really amazing for me to feel like, okay, I'm sitting with people once a week. It went for like 12 weeks and sitting with people who knew what I was going through and would listen and was also, crying when we were talking about our loved ones. And also talking about our successes, like people saying, I had a good day today and they've all been bad so far. So much like support in wherever you were and just love and support in that way where you could just show up as yourself and talk about your feelings and what you went through. And we also touched on different parts of grief. So every week we would talk about a different topic. And it was just really special and really important for me. And I showed up every single week and it was just amazing. So anyway, this is what I'm kind of building. I just felt really led to do something like this. So I'm the type of person that will literally tell my whole life story to someone I don't know. And there's not a lot of people out there, right, that do that because I feel like a lot of us like keep a lot on in our hearts. I have felt really alone in this experience. And this is just something for me to kind of like help me. I don't know, it's like self therapy too, to kind of like say all this out loud and maybe support someone out there that is going through a similar thing, especially me being like young. And this doesn't really happen to a lot of people. After Zach died, I was kind of searching like online, like, I lost my fiancé or something. And like literally like, it was like crickets, like nothing showed up. And so I just kind of remember that and being like, okay, like, let's do this. Like, I'm feeling a bigger calling to like put myself out there and talk about my journey for this first year and what that looked like, because I didn't know what the hell I was getting myself into. And so maybe this helps. But I look forward to posting some more videos about different kind of topics relating to grief. If any of you guys feel like you can relate, that's kind of the goal. I would love to connect with you. So, if you're out there and you need support and you're having a tough time, just know you're not alone. You will get through this. Um, this will make you literally like a superstar getting through this. I feel like I have no fear. Like doing this a year ago would be completely like out of the question. Like there's no way that I would do that. But I just feel like I have kind of put myself out there with my grief, have been very transparent in kind of where I'm at and expressing myself through, social media or just different avenues. And so I'm kind of excited to connect with others out there. I've created Finding Fuel Circle. And so this is a place where we can come together in a safe community to kind of talk about things that are on our heart, things that we can get into like deeper conversation outside of just YouTube. So if you're interested in joining the community, you can find the link below. And I hope to see you there and I hope to connect with you on a deeper level. Just know you're not alone and there is support out there. And if I can help support you in any way, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to hear your story.